Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your location. This is Leadership Talk with Adegoke, and I have with me Oliver Nsom from Cameroon. And we're looking at leadership, and public speaking. How are you today, sir?
I'm good, sir.
Okay, awesome,
Thank you.
awesome. Now, this is Leadership Talk with Adegoke. This is the 83rd session, 83rd
Wow.
podcast. Yeah. And it's such a privilege sharing the platform with my friend from Cameroon. He's an amazing
Yeah.
gentleman. He's showing up globally, adding value, particularly in the area of public speaking. We're going to
Yeah.
be learning a bit from him. And I have no doubt that for those that are watching the replay, you're also going to be learning as well. Thank you. How is Cameroon today?
Cameroon is cool. Temperature is at 37 degrees Celsius where I am currently now, in Bamenda.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. That's pretty warm. Awesome. Now, tell us, who is Oliver?
Okay. Oliver is an international speaker, a certified firework instructor from South Africa, and the founder and the CEO of the African Inclusive Institute of Public Speaking.
Wow.
Oliver is
Wow.
married to a beautiful wife and blessed with one child.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Tell us, how did you get into leadership?
Interestingly, growing up as a kid, I've always loved to lead, to take initiatives. Being the fourth child from the family of seven, and being the first to go to college, graduate from college, and being the first to travel out of the country, uh, really inspired me to always take the bull by the horn. And so when I look at the people ahead of me, they were not supposed to do the things. They're not doing the things I'm expecting them to do. So I decided to take charge. I decided to take leadership, and that is how I venture into leadership.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. The people
Congratulations.
around me, I did not see. Thank you, sir. They were not doing the things I expected them to doing. The people ahead of me, they were not doing the things I expected them to do, and because
Okay.
of that, I decided to take the risks by going
Okay.
ahead to do these things. That's
All
how I
right.
find myself in leadership.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Now, tell us, what is leadership to you? What is leadership?
Leadership, like John Maxwell have said it all, the great John Maxwell have said it all. And just to add, John Maxwell defines leadership as influence, influence. And I see leadership as positive influence, If whatever thing you're doing that is influencing, inspiring people positively, for me, that's leadership.
Wow. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. So, what is public
Yeah.
speaking?
Oh, great. Public speaking is an interesting topic. Public speaking is the art of persuading, entertaining, educating, and influencing people in a formal occasion. That's my definition for public speaking.
Okay. Awesome.
The art
Awesome.
of educating, entertaining, influencing, and inspiring people positively in a formal occasion. That's public speaking. So what that means is that comedians are public speakers, though they focus on the aspect of entertaining. Pastors are public speakers. They focus on the aspect of educating. Motivational speakers are public speakers. They focus on the aspect of inspiring and motivating.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. If you're just joining us, I'm speaking with a friend, a brother from Cameroon. His name is Oliver Nsom, and he's a certified public speaker. He's showing up on Leadership Talk with Adegoke, and we're looking at leadership and public speaking. Now, what's the relationship between leadership and public speaking?
Great. It is a very close relationship. I must be very sincere with this. You know, public speaking is an aspect of leadership.
Yeah.
And so leadership and public speaking, they're like twin brothers. And there's no way, they cannot identify themselves together. And so leadership is like the big brother, and then public speaking is like, the small brother. So leadership and public speaking relationship, like I say, is a very close relationship. And leadership is the bigger one, and public speaking comes second. And so there's no way we can talk leadership without public speaking. And there is no way we can talk public speaking without leadership, because all leaders are public speakers. And most public speakers are leaders. Like pastors are leaders, motivational speakers are leaders, you know. And so when we talk of the relationship between leadership and public speaking, I think it is a very close one.
Awesome. So what's the
And it's
what's
difficult
the
to get it.
awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well done. Now, what's the responsibility of a leader in the area of public speaking?
Okay. Good. The leader, like we say, has a huge responsibility in as much as public speaking is concerned.
Okay.
In what sense? A leader that is not having the public speaking skills cannot lead well.
Wow.
Because one of the ways to lead is to communicate. There's no way you can communicate your vision effectively or fluently if you cannot be able to express yourself well in public. And you agree with me that at times challenges in leadership will come, like you experience storms in your leadership. Like in the case of COVID-19, 2019, many companies collapsed and many companies were able to retrench a lot of staff. This is as a result of leadership. And many companies were rather recruiting more people or changing the narrative or changing the dynamics. That was the power of leadership. And so public speaking and leadership is amazing. And a leader who wants to lead successfully must be able to communicate effectively. And that's where public speaking comes in and leadership.
Wow. So public speaking is an essential ingredient of leadership. Wow. Awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome. I know that John C. Maxwell, one of the books I wrote is Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. Even as leaders, we must be able to communicate and connect effectively, and communicating is not just for you to pass on information, but to make sure that that information can be implemented easily by your listeners. All right. So public speaking must be done in such a way that you carry the audience along. There's something called the ABC, the audience before the content. There must who do you want to speak to? What is the intention? It must be clear, it must be authentic, and it must be the one that resonates with your audience. Now, what are some of the ways a leader can improve in public speaking?
Great. First of all, by getting trained.
Okay.
Most leaders think that because they're leaders, they could just be good in public speaking, or they could just do public speaking and succeed.
Okay.
And I am totally against that. Now, for instance, have you heard a situation where a leader, or it could be a pastor, or anybody who is giving a speech in public, and he starts his speech by saying, "I am very sorry for coming late. I am very sorry because the circumstances do not permit me to be here on time." So people even go to the extent of saying, "I'm sorry, I did not prepare well for this presentation." I don't know if you heard of expressions like that.
Yeah, well, that's a minus, for that leader or speaker. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, your network is a bit faulty. Maybe you might need to come back in again. Yeah, your network is playing up. Yeah, so I think you need to come back in again. Yeah. Your network is a bit faulty. Yeah. So it will come back in again. You know, it was talking about a situation where, you know, a public speaker shows up without being prepared. You know, you don't just show up. You show up with your resources. You show up because your audience is also ready to listen. And leadership and public speaking, you know, like you said, they're like Siamese twins. A leader that is not able to communicate effectively, that is not clear, that is not authentic, that does not know how to break a complex message and turn it into a simple message. It's all about communication, and the communication must be healthy. Oftentimes, as a leader, you have an idea about what you want to share, or a public speaker, you have an idea. And so the idea must be one that you can communicate. It must be one that can resonate with the audience. There are always sliding door moments, or you can call it lollipop moments, where, you know, the audience is available, but if you are not able to communicate effectively, it creates a challenge, you know. So the speaker that we have on leadership and public speaking is Oliver Nsom, and he's speaking all the way from Cameroon. This is the leadership talk with Adegoke. This is the 83rd session. Yes, 83rd session of leadership talk with Adegoke, and we are looking at leadership and public speaking. Public speaking is an art. It's something that, you know, we just have to build up on, develop those skills, and grow as we move along. If you don't grow in the area of public speaking, you find that the kind of audience that you be able to reach out to will be a limited audience. So I'm just so excited that we can add value, and you know, it's such a privilege to be here, and just showing up to add value. Now, the gentleman is having challenges with his network, but I just want to speak to the consequences of not having public speaking skills. One of the consequences is that you have difficulty in reaching out. There's something called stage fright. You know, there's some leaders that are not able to address, you know, a large number of people, and they are great leaders, you know, but the challenge is that they are not able to speak to a large number of people. But these things can be learned, and that's why you have coaches. We are available. You can reach out to me in a DM. You can send a message across. We'll teach you how to pass your message across, how to become a great public speaker. Because once you enter into the space of leadership, you need public speaking skills. It helps to project your brand. It helps to accentuate your message. It also helps to position you as a thought leader, because if you reach out to people and you are not able to convey your message in such a seamless manner, in such a powerful manner, you lose your audience. You are not able to carry them along, because it's not just about going through slides and telling people, oh, facts and figures, but you must be able to, you know, use even storytelling in your public speaking so that the people can be carried along. Now, what strategies can be adopted, you know, in order to help you scale up in terms of public speaking? Also, your content has to be rich. Your content has to be authentic. Your content has to also be relatable in such a way that you are able to carry everyone along. You know, in the audience, you have different types of people in the audience. So there are times that you need to use stories. There are times that you need to use facts and figures. There are times that you also need to get feedback from the audience, because it's not all the time that you're just speaking, because sometimes you're speaking and you're speaking above the heads of the people. And when you do that, it creates a crisis, even for the speaker. That's why you see some people, they are there, but they are not there, you know. So I just want to add a speaker back. You're welcome. You're welcome back. You're
Thank you,
welcome back.
sir.
Yeah. Sorry, I know it's the internet connection, you know, so but these things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we're
that's
just
right.
talking about, the challenges of, not the consequence of a speaker not having public speaking skills. Can you speak to that?
Yes. So it is challenging going to big events, big seminars, big conferences, and you see a leader you respect a lot, or a man of God you respect a lot, and he begins his speech by saying, I am sorry for XYZ, ethically, it is wrong to start a speech by apologizing. It's very wrong. And again, you hear a good speaker, somebody giving a very powerful speech. Along the way, he can make a mistake. Maybe he pronounce a word wrongly or give a wrong statistics, and then he will say, I'm sorry, I got it wrong. No, that is not how we do it. So, for instance, when you come, whatever happens, you have the reason to apologize. Don't apologize at the start of your speech, but you begin very powerfully and you apologize somewhere immediately after your introduction. That's when you apologize. And in the course of speaking, when you make a mistake, you don't apologize, but you just say what you're supposed to say correctly. You just repeat the right thing by not saying, I am sorry. Now, when leaders don't understand all these principles of effective public speaking or effective communication, they will always mess up at a certain point in their career. And when they do that, it will not be effective leadership. And so, leaders who don't have a mastery of public speaking or effective communication will never lead well in this dispensation, in this 21st century. And so there's a high need, there's a dire need for leaders to get themselves trained as public speakers and let them practice the public speaking, you know, within their organizations and out of their organizations to have a broader view, a broader perspective of public speaking.
Well, I just want to chime in because I agree with you that once there's an error is made, you shouldn't in terms of when you're late, but in terms of apologies, while an error is made, is also important that apologies should be made because so that you don't take the audience for granted. Because if you do that, you have that a situation where you don't apologize, you might lose followership because
Exactly.
you're speaking to a cross section of people, and people are various backgrounds. So I want to just make that assertion that it's important as a public speaker that you need to correct yourself. There is nothing wrong in making an error can be made authentically, but you need to correct that error and apologize publicly. There's nothing, and you move on. We are humans, so
That's right.
public speakers are
Yeah.
also, they're not machines, so even machines break down.
Yeah.
So I just said I should correct that assertion. Yeah, go
Exactly.
on. So then, I also want to, how can public speaking be ingrained in leadership? The protocol, how can it be ingrained in leadership?
Come again, sir. Sorry, I did not hear.
Yeah, I said, how can public speaking, how can it be infused? How can it be part of leadership? How can it become a norm in leadership, in the leadership growth, in growing a leader, the culture?
Okay, great. So it is important in growing leadership or in growing a leader. Public speaking is very important in the sense that it actually enhance and foster your leadership abilities.
Awesome.
You agree with me that in most companies, the promotion mostly come to those staff or team members that communicate best.
Yeah.
Yes. So a team member or a staff that can communicate well is the one that can sell the company, is the one that
Yeah.
can best represent the company,
Yeah.
and is probably the one that the company can quickly love to send for an invoice or for a representative for a business anywhere.
Yeah.
And so, for you to grow your leadership skills or to claim the leadership roles, it is
Yeah.
so imperative to have a mastery of the
Yeah.
skills of public speaking.
Wow.
To have a mastery of the skill of public speaking. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, as we draw to a close, I just have a few questions, but if you just join us, this is Leadership Talk with Adegoke, the 83rd session, and we're looking at leadership and public speaking. And I have with me on the platform Oliver Nsom, all the way from Cameroon, and is adding so much value. Thank you so much, my friend. Now, I want you to share with us. Do you have mentors?
Yes, of course. I do have mentors, and I'm actually just talking to one of my mentors right now.
Okay, awesome. Now, then, if our listeners want to reach you, how can they reach you? Our listeners, if they want to reach you, how can they reach you?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said, our listeners, if they want to reach you, how can they reach you? Yes.
Come again, please.
I said, if our listeners, if they want to reach you, how can they reach you?
All right. Okay. Yes, our listeners can reach out to me through my website, www.seanoliver.com. www.seanoliver.com. They can equally get me from Facebook. They can equally get to me on Facebook by my name on Facebook is Oliver Sean. Oliver Sean is my name on Facebook. I'm equally on LinkedIn and on YouTube. So any of these platforms, they can really locate me there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us on Leadership Talk with Adegoke. It's been a fascinating session with Oliver Nsom, and we've looked at leadership and public speaking. Until same time next time, thank you everyone for joining. All right, you want to say bye-bye to the audience?
Yeah, of course. I want to say a big high shout to all the listeners and the viewers of this amazing leadership talk with mentor Adegoke. To Sten Rosso, it's my mentor in South Africa. I want to say a high shout to him, and to my wife and children at home, a big high shout, and of course to my colleagues in Bamenda, in Yaoundé, in Rwanda, in South Africa, and all around the world. A big high shout to all the professional speakers around Africa.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Oliver, for joining us. Everyone, thanks for joining and tuning in. Please watch the replay, and if you have any comments or questions, you can feel free to reach out to Oliver. This is Leadership Talk with Adegoke, 83rd session. Wonderful session. Thank you. Have a great day.